ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
The Beezer. Oh, that's nice.
I woke up yesterday morning with a spring in my step.
Start later, please.
I could never know what the day was.
Fast forward ahead.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that was good news.
It is the 15th day of November 2024. It's Friday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. Big show today. I'm Marnie Gellner, Chris Hardwick, and a cast of thousands. No Mark Parrish as he's doing his other job, but plenty of things to get through. So let's get her started with Dusty Slay, some comedy on a Friday morning. You've almost made it. Come on, let's get up and attack this day and make it a great weekend. Come on in. I am glad you are here.
I stayed at one hotel. Nothing worked. The elevator didn't work. Finally got up to my room, and the Wi-Fi didn't work. So I went back downstairs. I was like, hey, the Wi-Fi doesn't work. He was like, yeah, it's a little shaky. But the network name is Ramada Inn 1. And that's when I realized why it was shaky. Because we weren't at a Ramada Inn. I could see the Ramada Inn through the window. He was like, but it works real good down here in the lobby. Why don't you just use it here in the lobby? And I'm like, well, obviously you don't know what I need Wi-Fi for. I'm not working on a spreadsheet up here, buddy. Man, I'm stressed out. Okay. You ever check into like an old hotel and you plug your phone charger into the wall and then it just falls out on the floor? Like, what's going on with those plugs? You know? Who's stretching out all the plugs? You know what I mean? Why they all wore out like that? Who's got these big phone chargers out here? That's what I'm saying. I got a regular sized phone charger. Now I'm not even making a connection. Walking around with a half-charged phone all day. I'm just saying, don't stretch out the plugs for everybody else, you know what I mean? You may not be the last one to use that plug. I like a snug plug, you know what I mean?
Jeff, look at this thing. Gaze at a graveyard.
The finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
I believe it was Willy Wonka that said, we have so much time and so little to do. Strike that, reverse it. The opposite today. We got a lot going on in only 3.5 hours, but I think we'll fit it all in. This is the Power Trip Morning Show. I'm Corey. That's Chris. That's Paul. There's Zachary. And there's John Kriesel because it's Friday.
Good morning.
Good morning, fellas.
Howdy!
Good morning. John Kriesel.
Good to be back.
Yeah, Kries, you're going to be here. Mr. Z's going to be here. Marnie Gellner's going to be here. We'll do the Charch Challenge. Chris Hardwick's going to be on the show at 7:30-ish. That's going to be awesome. A lot going on today.
Prize.
Hell yeah, man.
Rise of the prize, baby.
$78,000 up for grabs with the St. Paul Federal Credit Union initials jackpot. Just
Unreal.
$78K.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Is Brando's grandson here today?
It's getting better. Zach?
Not there yet, but there's light at the end of the voice tunnel.
Yeah, you
This
mostly
actually
sound like
sounds
yourself.
pretty good.
Very bad.
Yeah, pretty close to you.
Kind of hot.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's fun waking up every morning wondering, hey, am I going to sound normal yet?
It's great.
Yeah.
There's so many other things you could wake up to, though, fearing.
Yeah.
Like
That's not that bad.
Yeah, there's way worse.
Like,
You got to wake up sometimes and chew your arm off, to sneak out.
Yeah.
You're like, Jesus, I should have worn a condom.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or how about just the fear of not waking up?
Yeah, how
you
about
woke
that?
up today.
hey, you'll never know.
Do you have, I don't think I'd ever have a fear of not waking up.
Best part of waking
I
up.
wouldn't know.
Folgers in your cup.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, sorry, dude.
What's the point of fearing something you'll never experience, technically?
Ooh.
Well, then why fear death?
He's going deep.
Again, don't fear that either.
Because life is
look
awesome.
At you. Look at Zacho. I like Zacho's the eternal optimist. Who would have thunk it?
He's a
Love
total
it.
optimist?
No, I love it.
Optimist?
Trust me, back in the day, betting on Highway 8, I was not a turtle optimist. I did not think they were getting across the death trap that was Highway 8.
Yeah.
Still is a death trap, but not as bad as it
It's a
used to be.
suicide rap.
Going lake to lake.
Pretty much. That was going hospital to Brink's supermarket. I don't think the turtle was coming from the hospital. That's just the area where we used to watch them try to cross the road.
Why do they cross the road?
I don't know. It's a good question because
It got to be P word.
I wanted to.
For sure.
I wanted to tell them, especially when I knew they were going to get hit. Actually, you should be headed towards the hospital, not away from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't listen. They wanted to go to Brink's.
I'm always like, just come out of your shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Good to be back, fellas. It was a fun time up at deer camp, and we were very successful. So that was it. Sounded the state
Bagged some does.
Well, the one I shot, I thought it was a big doe or a good sized doe. Ended up being a button buck.
What's that mean?
It's a buck that's just antlers are just starting, so it's young. Those are good eaters. So yeah, freezer's full. Dropped it off at good old McDonald Meats up in Clear Lake, which they make the best.
That's where
sticks.
McDonald's gets its meat.
Wow. It's deer meat?
If they did, I would eat at McDonald's every
A deer
day.
meat Big Mac?
Didn't they
Would
do
you eat
that?
it?
Chicken.
Didn't Arby's do that?
Like a venison burger?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Venison's the best.
Is it really?
Yes. It's so lean that they have to add like fatty meat to it. So to get the deer sticks and to get the summer sausage, we do cheddar double jalapeno. They have to add a bunch of pork to it. And so, yeah, it's awesome.
So you were up hunting. And then I feel like this is Rudolph. And then it hit. But then on Monday, it happened. And you and I texted back and forth because it was maybe the biggest train wreck Wheel of Fortune episode I've ever seen.
Yeah. I was getting made fun of by the fellas because...
Of your wiener?
Yeah.
No,
he's not a button buck.
No, I'm not.
Brilliant.
And I'm always in rut. So
The whole town knows.
But we got in, and that was our last day of hunting. So I was like, all right, we're going to cook some food.
And watch some wheel.
Have some cocktails. So I was like, all right, 6 o'clock news into the wheel. They loved it, but they're like, we are so old.
Yeah.
Compared to when we just get
The wheel
hammered.
is ageless.
100%. And then that happened. And to your point, like you were describing yesterday, everybody
sucked.
But he
Will
was the pinnacle. Will was the pinnacle. And I saw more proof that Sauce is wrong about it being rigged. He's a good sport. Maggie Sajak interviewed him after for a bit on the gram. And he's like, oh, man. He said, at work, I'm going to take a beating. He's like, I know there's going to be sausages.
Did he just admit that he
said that
he
the
like had an
lights-
out of body experience and just lost
send
track
it
of
to you.
time and space?
He said when the lights were bright, he said he just
freaked out.
He felt like he had it, and then all of a sudden went blank, and that's what came out of his mouth. So I mean, it was one of the few. They're a little better with the social media stuff.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
And he goes, "If you, I hope your dad in retirement is watching, and if he's watching this episode and has a beer and a laugh," he said, then it was worth it. He goes, because I feel dumb.
My favorite bit of the whole bit between you and I was, you got some military guys up there, right? And it was Veterans Day on Wheel of Fortune. And you said the first thing you wanted to do is, what frickin' branch is this guy from?
wanted to rewind it.
Because you wanted to make fun of the branch that he was from. It's like the most
Coast Guard, too.
Most military guy thing to do is, oh, my buddies in that group are going to hear a ton about this. But you said he was Coast Guard.
Coast Guard. We thought Marines for sure. Those cranny sons of bitches. So and immediately once that happened, we're like, what branch was he? And we hadn't heard.
Found it.
We did.
Coast Guard, Will.
After she died, and we were in real time texting, and I was a tiny bit behind because we were streaming it.
Yeah.
And it was. That was the
final puzzle. It was filled
would have gotten it.
It was almost filled in. And you and I are, like you said, in real time going, it's online auction. There's no way she misses this.
This is too easy. This is too easy.
Why are these so easy? And then she misses it, and it was $100K. We go, Jesus, this is a bad day for vets.
Unreal.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's one of those days where you think Wheel of Fortune just goes, should we air this, or should we find 3 more vets to
that one
represent a little bit better?
That one should go right to Game Show Network. That one needs to be played often because it was. And immediately I looked at Twitter and 1 million people were like,
treat yourself a round of sausage. It's going to be infamous.
Love it.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Yes.
What a guess. Chris, yesterday, Justin Gonzalez, the Fargo Flash, I thought it was pulling a number out of his ass for 21.5 in that high school football game.
How about that?
God dang. Apparently, your squad got a late touchdown that was meaningless for the game, but got you within 21 points, and the spread was 21.5, so you covered.
Yeah, it's been a good run for me sports betting wise lately. And I only do it with you guys, and I only do it when it seems ludicrous, and it seemed ludicrous.
What was what were the teams again? It was Minnetonka and
Anoka.
Anoka, yeah.
The Tornadoes.
48-27 was the final score.
Greasy.
What was it again?
48-27.
Wow.
So 21 points, but I guess a touchdown with 3 minutes to go that didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Changed how much money's in my bank account.
Sure did.
Let's go Venmo.
Nice hit.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've got some money from Saucy. I got some money from Ben. And it's all going into the hooker fund.
Good week of sports gambling going to the hooker fund.
Yeah,
That's right.
for
That's
you.
right. Yep. There's got to be hookers in Nashtown, right?
Or you know what you could do? I mean, look, you could treat yourself a round of sausage in Nashtown as well if you
I'm
want.
going to try to treat somebody else to a round of sausage.
Oh, no, button buck. Is that a new power trip phrase?
It should be. I like it. Are you sure you're a buck? Yes.
When we went up to it, though, the Risteds are the best. And Dave Risted shot the largest deer we've ever dropped.
That photo looked like a beast.
Yeah.
That looked like Pegasus.
And its body was huge. Mm-hmm. We just laughed when we went up to it. And he had to get out of his stand and flank it because we knew it was going to get to the state land. And it sounded like Gaza over there. The public land, oh my God. The amount of shooting, I'd never heard that level of shooting before. So we thought if anything goes over there, it's dead, including us.
Yeah.
So he flanked it, and all of a sudden I'm looking through the binos at him, and I see him getting the prone, and I was like, what's he doing? All of a sudden I see smoke go out of his rifle. I was like, must have seen it. And then he ended up getting it. But then, so then mine wasn't a big deal because I shot mine a little bit before. And then when we roll up to it, they go to move it, and Brian, it's got balls. And I was like, oh. And then he's like, yeah, a little button buck. I was like, well, no one cares anyway. At this point, we're celebrating Dave's. Mine's for meat, for the freezer. So, yeah. But, yeah, button buck.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Title
a phrase
of the
we have to
podcast.
adopt.
That's so good. That's so good.
If someone's just young, maybe a small set of nuts.
Yep.
Button buck.
Yeah.
So what is the plan for Nashville? It's one of your favorite cities, is it not?
I like it there very much. Yeah, it's a noon game. I was hoping they'd flex that some bitch.
Yeah, but Nashville, the Tennessee Titans are so bad.
Yeah, I know, but their defense is pretty good. So I got a bunch of friends that are going down. So I'll probably meet them out somewhere. We're staying in one of the nice hotels. It'd be cool. It's not like Jacksonville where I was afraid to leave the hotel.
So this hotel is within walking distance to all the action, kind of, or not?
There's going to be a lot of breasts.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Bachelorette
But I'm going to fight
parties?
the urge. I'm going to fight the urge. I'm going to make sure I get some sleep so I wake up and do a good job for all y'all out there listening on Sunday.
The mad respect to all the artists out there, but the hardest working things in that town are blouse buttons.
There's no doubt. I know it is like going to a museum.
You're just waiting for shrapnel.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It's like, oh, I like those. That's
pew, pew.
That looks brand new. Are those new? Excuse me, old lady. Are those new?
Are those new bolt-ons?
Bolt-ons, such a great term.
Can I ask you who your doctor was? Because those are beautiful. It should be there should be awards for best boob job.
I agree. The AVNs.
I think those are the AVNs, or as Chris calls them, the VENs.
I did say that.
Yeah, he
admittedly.
did.
The Vikings Entertainment Network.
Yeah, well.
B-Harp. B-Harp's just...
Yep.
Harper comes up with the list of nominees.
Yeah.
And then promptly gets fired.
All by memory.
Harper's the best.
Yeah, I'd be like, Harper, why do you have best three-way on your mantle? Best director.
Yeah.
And your name's on the trophy.
You won.
Who were the other two?
Different kind of producer.
Harp's our sponsor now, our spotter now.
Is he?
Games, yeah. So he's right there in the booth.
He's the best.
He's the best,
Yeah,
and nobody lives and dies with the Vikings as much as that guy. That was a surprise for me. But
he pretends not. He plays it off so well.
Yeah,
it's like my wife.
He gets so frustrated. I'm afraid he's going to burst into flames.
Need a fire extinguisher up there.
I used to be the same way. Now I'm calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, but on the inside.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you're like, what in
Yeah,
the...
you have to be.
Yeah.
I think we all were going to be surprised if they lost to Jacksonville, and they
but not.
oddly almost did.
Yeah.
I'm going to be even more surprised if they lose to this team. I know the defense is good,
100%.
but I'm just going to be more surprised because they played so poorly last week. I just don't think they're going to stumble that many times in the red zone again. So I think we're going to find a distance here. I don't want a 2 or 3 point win. Let's win by 14, right?
They need to.
Yeah, just bury a bad team because then you got another bad team next week with Chicago.
And Mac Jones is better than Will Levis.
Which is crazy
sad,
to say, but yes. Yeah, that's the weird thing about this team. It would have been surprising if they lost, but not. You know what I mean? That would have been very Vikings-like, especially with the start, the way Sam Darnold's headed now. It's so frustrating to me. And I know everyone's like, there's so many Sam Darnold apologists. I understand this is a $10 million bridge quarterback. Fine. The decision, all you have to do is not mess up. And if there's 4 guys on Justin Jefferson or 3 guys, kiss me, then somebody's open. Somebody's open. Just,
keep throwing to TJ.
Right?
Yeah,
that
once in a while, John Kriesel, you don't always have to throw it to the biggest guy out there. Once in a while, you just got to look for the wide open button buck and just
take it.
Take that one down because that's your best option.
Just a young set of nuts, never hurt anybody.
Sure, right, Zacho?
Oh, yeah, no.
All right, calm down.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. Let's see like a 3 touchdown game out of Darnold.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And even 1 interception and not in the red zone.
Yeah.
Or none if he wants, but 1 is fine.
Nice. 1 is fine. We'll take
a 3 and 1.
Sure.
It looks like back in the day when you just try to on Madden force it or you hit the wrong button and you're like, and the ball's in the air. You're like, it's going to get intercepted. And then they do. But early part of the year, it would bounce off their hands. You're like, oh gosh, we got lucky.
Yeah.
Now they're catching it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're worried about our quarterback, and they're 7-2.
I know.
Yeah, right.
I know.
The only time a quarterback has thrown this many interceptions and the team has had a 7-2 record or better at this point was 2015 Peyton Manning, and that team won the Super Bowl.
See?
We're doing it.
Right.
We're doing it.
They have
Let's go.
the best record in the NFC.
Which is crazy.
It's insane. Yeah.
NFC's tightening up, though.
Yeah.
The Eagles are good.
Hey, speaking of weird
the
stats,
Eagles are good.
I only half heard this. Can somebody that either was listening tweet at us, or could somebody find this quickly? Ben Maller's show like an hour ago
Nobody listens to that.
said, Sauce and I do.
I love it. Yeah.
I love that show.
Said that he said there's a 3-7 team. This sounded impossible. That's why I want to look this up. That there's a 3-7 team, and I didn't hear which team he said, that has led more minutes than the 9-0 Kansas City Chiefs.
Timberwolves.
Well, here are the quick. I have the.
Okay, go for it.
The Jets are 3-7. The Patriots are 3-7. The Panthers are 3-7. The Saints are 3-7.
It's the Saints.
4, hours, 25 minutes, 42 seconds compared to 4 hours, 2 minutes, and 5 seconds.
So the 3-7 Saints have led in games more this season than the 9-0 Chiefs.
Yeah,
that's
part
insane.
of it was the butt kicking they were laying on people early in the year.
Yeah, they were.
And
They were
like
2-0.
Yeah, when winning, blew Dallas out. I think.
Well, who
like
hasn't?
wire to wire.
Who hasn't, right?
Back when that was wow, that was an impressive win.
No, you better.
Now it's
Then they lost 7 straight.
John Kriesel is here. He got a button buck. They're nice and lean. Got to add some meat to those lean button bucks. Kriesel is here. Marnie will be here in a little bit. Chris Hardwick of Singled Out, Talking Dead, The Wall, Nerdist, so many other things. Hardwick's going to be here from like 7:30-ish or so on. Initials at 8:15. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Live at 8 a.m. It's all thanks to Quantum Fiber. Your world unleashed. Watch it at KFAN.com/watch. Amazing hot rods.
You can watch Marnie Gellner probably punch Chris Hardwick in the shoulder.
Amazing hot rods.
And amazing hot rods.
You guys got to get him to sign a waiver.
Against
She's spicy.
Marnie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is spicy.
Chris, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you loved Singled Out growing up.
Yes. Yep. I don't remember much of it now. Getting old as a bitch. But
Yeah.
I do. I watched it. Yes.
Hardwick and Jenny
Everyone
McCarthy.
watched it.
Yep.
Well, and of course, if Jenny McCarthy's on there, I mean, if it was
Right in her prime, too.
watching her do algebra, I'm in. Algebra would be very lucky.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
All right. Sauce, thanks for the money, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah, man. It was close.
You paid me early, even.
Well, yeah, when it was 12-10, I didn't see the play because I turned it off, but they had it 2nd and 1 and turned it over on downs. Did you see that play?
What were we talking
That's the Eagles game.
in
That's
Washington.
So it was they were cruising down the field and they had it plus territory, and they had it 2nd and 1. Then they ran it on 3rd and 1 for no gain, and then I think
It was 4th and 2, and then they went for it and didn't get it.
Jaden, I think, fumbled the snap or something.
He like bobbled it, and he was supposed to hand it off clearly, but at that point had to roll out. He took a shot.
Yeah.
They teed off on him.
Yep. And then Saquon scored 2 touchdowns within 20 seconds.
How about that?
He scored. Jaden threw an interception and then another touchdown 20 seconds later. So
yeah,
I got home. It was 10-3, and then I didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
except it turned into a blowout. I saw a lot of scoring.
So if you guys watched most of that game last night, Eagles and Vikings NFC title game today, who wins?
Eagles.
Boom.
How about Eagles and Lions NFC title game today?
Lions. And I don't think it would be close.
No, I don't either.
I think the Lions are head and shoulders above the rest. And they could play in a meat grinder, and a lot of times these high-flying, powerful offenses, if you can get them into a meat grinder, then you've got a shot. I just think the Lions are so freaking good. If they stay healthy, they're just, and that it seems like that's a wild place to play too. Like those fans are jacked.
I also think though with the Eagles is that they are literally a loss away from being on the brink of disaster.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of them like that head coach. They've won 6 straight, and it's like if they lose, it's almost like that's their excuse to get rid of him.
Because their fan base is insane.
Yeah, I
They're
just don't
mentally
think
ill.
they like Is it Sirianno?
Yeah,
I don't think
Sirianni.
Sirianni. I don't really think they like him. And
winning cures all, though.
Yeah, they've won 6 straight.
But
Sorry, I don't understand.
Siri doesn't understand your take.
or my pronunciation.
But early in the year, they were facing adversity. They've bounced back. They've got things under control now. They're running the ball. It seems like a much more controlled team. That's a good football team. I would not want to play them in the playoffs.
Christopher, there's a commercial for Red One on ESPN right now, and I hadn't seen the review, so I just went to Rotten Tomato.
It's 100%.
34. Yikes.
Yeah, well, that's how many people have seen it.
Have you seen it yet?
The commercial says instant holiday classic.
Yeah, that's right. And I know I'm waiting to see it today.
Oh, yeah?
I have 2 different theaters booked in case they're sold out. I don't want to take any chances. I'm excited. I've already got my Reese's Pieces set aside.
I'm assuming you already got your tickets for Red 2, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited about it.
It's PG-13. That's an interesting strategy for a kids
movie.
movie.
Yeah, they show some tease.
Wow. The Rocks?
Yeah.
Some bolt-ons.
Some of them are, sure. I mean, it's an accurate portrayal of what guys my age want for Christmas.
The Rock with bolt-ons.
Yep. That's right.
Interesting.
This is from Russ Simmons.
Oh, I know old Russ.
He says,
Russell Simmons from Def Jam.
That's
yeah,
right,
correct.
Def Jam.
He says it's a juvenile James Bond wannabe buried under an avalanche of computer effects and holiday gimmicky.
That's one way to say it.
That's a lot of words to say it sucks.
There's no way it can be that good. I mean,
that's being too kind.
I don't know. I'm gonna get all Christmassy. I went into Hobby Lobby last night and made that place my bitch.
Just to buy Christmas stuff?
Yeah.
You spent a lot, didn't you?
You'd think I didn't, but it was all 50% off, so I had to go.
You can't afford not to.
I had to go, man. I saved cool $200.
Hell yeah. How much did you spend?
Hang on, hang on.
Come on, man.
Hang on. Let's walk through that again.
Why do you do it to yourself?
Why did you do it to yourself?
Sauce, he saved $200. How much money did he spend?
400?
Oh, my God.
Well, if everything's 50% off, and he saved him, well, then he spent $200. Got it. Took me a second.
You guys going to watch Mike Tyson, Jake Paul?
You bet.
I think I'm going to.
No.
I know I really didn't want to be a part of it, but now I'm like, if it's truly just free on Netflix and I'm not doing anything tonight, why would I not just flip it on?
Yeah,
and even
that's a
if it's
good
an
point.
absolute train wreck, I'm actually cheering for that it's an absolute train wreck more than a good fight. I want a train wreck. I want a cultural moment that's bizarre.
I'm hoping it's throw the damn towel.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be that guy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I want Tyson to whoop his ass and then stand over him and say, "Kiss me."
Yeah, gift me. Brilliant.
I want him to say, if he dies, well, he dies.
Brilliant.
How many fights are on the main card before?
No idea.
Because that starts at 7.
Yeah.
So if I'm hoping it's not like 5 or 6 fights. No, I'm going to stay up regardless, but I don't want it to be, midnight when
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Would you? How about back to your beat him to a pulp theory, Chris?
Yeah.
Would you rather watch by the way, how many rounds is this? Do we know?
I was just actually going to Google that.
Whatever it is, let's just say it's a full 12 rounds, even though I doubt that. But let's just say it is. Would you rather watch Tyson at 58 years old bob and weave and kind of systematically take him apart and punish him, but over 12 rounds, or just get 8 rounds, or just get one unbelievable fury in round 1 where he just hits 3 or 4 in a row and drops him like a bag of rocks and just ends it?
I want him
round 1.
I want him to hit Jake Paul so hard that he's Jake All because he knocks one of the P's out.
Knocks the P out of it. Got it.
But I don't think that's what will happen. I think it's the exact opposite. I think Jake Paul will come out swinging for the fences, and Tyson will bob and weave, and then wham. We go now.
Wham's going to be there?
They're doing halftime, which is after round 4.
I mean, I would think Jake Paul wants this thing to go as long as possible for the endurance factor because he's in amazing shape.
Yeah.
But the rounds are only 2 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
And he's much bigger
Not 3,
than Tyson, too. I think he thinks he can catch him on the chin and knock the piss out of him. And maybe he can. That's the thing. I have no idea what's going to happen. Who knows what Mike Tyson's going to be like at 58 years old. But I hope he does. I hope he hits him really hard and then jumps on top of him and starts eating the flesh off his face.
He does do that.
I hope he does. I hope he goes
He has
full
eaten
zombie.
human flesh before, at least temporarily.
Was that the Amazon that did that in the wrestling game?
Yeah.
Sure. Nobody beats the Amazon.
Yeah,
I hope he pulls a hatchet out and scalps Jake Paul.
Jesus.
There was a video of Tyson
old
in the
school.
ring that he was prepping for this, and there were a couple of boxing experts going, "God, this is sad. Tyson looks slow, and he looks at." And every punch he threw, I'm like, that would knock my head off.
Correct. Yeah.
So I hope, even though it's not 1990 Mike Tyson, that just one of those iron fists goes through every tooth that Jake Paul has. Wouldn't that be great?
I think he's got a level of mad, Tyson. I think he's got a level of mad that normal people don't have.
Yeah.
And I hope that comes to play.
Yes, harness that, please.
Yeah.
I hope at one point I'm like, does he have horns?
Yeah.
Do you remember during each, at the end of each round in Mike Tyson's Punch Out, where if you really were beating like Glass Joe to death, his face would just be bloodied and the picture would just be like dead man walking as you're getting rubbed down.
But then you hit select and you get a little boost.
Get that star punch.
The star punch was the best.
I hope Jake Paul looks like Glass Joe by the end
and
of this thing.
mistimes the star punch.
That would be the best. Front Page Sports is next. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Road again.
Welcome back, Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. It's Friday at 6:07. It's all about Super Bowl, homeboy.
Super Bowl homeboy.
That's right.
Lots to get to. Mr. Z in a second, then Charch. Playoffs. And Marnie.
Super
And
Bowl,
Chris
homeboy.
Hardwick. And then the Super Bowl homeboy. That's the lineup.
Yo, what up, Tennessee?
Let's do some sports. Right, Saucy?
It's all fake.
No, this is not fake. This is going to be the actual
No, this
news.
is real.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores. You can get a $5 meal deal at Holiday for a limited time. Enjoy any personal-sized pizza with a 20-ounce Pepsi Pop for just $5. Limited time. $5 meal deal at Holiday. Thanks, Holiday.
Yeah, hell
Get
yeah.
that $5 meal deal.
Oh, no.
No, I did that at the auto show. I have never pissed blood at a Holiday. Nor would I. I would not want to do that to their bathrooms.
No.
It is an absolute mess.
It is. It was not fun when that happened at the auto show, and maybe it's part of the reason I've never gone back.
Which is also not right.
Well, I probably should. I mean, I endorse Luther. I love Luther.
Yeah.
They have a whole bunch of great people at the auto show, but I'm too nervous to piss blood.
Wake up and come out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you quit calling me. I mean, you got to stop smoking. Radio for 5 people. I don't know why you're.
Brilliant.
Might be.
Don't take up smoke.
That whole.
Oh, Rosie.
Zachary, this is for you. The Minnesota Wild won 3-0 over the Montreal Canadiens. Goals by Boldy, Rossi, and Kirill. Gus Bus had 19 saves. The Wild move up to 11-2-3, including 4-1-1 at home.
Whoa. Love it.
And they host the Dallas Stars of Anaheim tomorrow at 7.
I swallowed 5 swords at once.
So the good news is
Zach.
the Wild won, and they shut out the Canadians, and that was good.
Where's the butt in this sentence?
Yeah.
Couple of big butts here.
Doing the butt.
Go on.
We don't know what the hell happened to Joel Eriksson. He left, I think, second period.
Was he pissing blood?
And
Maybe
never
he just
came
wanted
back.
to go to the auto show.
Yeah. Maybe he wanted to go to Holiday and get that meal deal.
Speaking of pissing blood,
Wow. That crowd is pumped.
Matt Zuccarello was in front of the Canadian goal, and I think it was Faber who ripped a slap shot that hit Zuccarello in a very, very sensitive area.
The penis?
Yes. And
The penis area. So he might have honestly been pissing blood.
And normally, almost every other time that happens, they're in pain, whatever, but they eventually come back. He never came back. And so now the concern is
That his penis fell off.
ruptured testicles, stuff like that. This is like a very serious thing.
Right.
So I'm wishing the
seems
best.
like it is.
Because it went from oh man, he got hit in the junk to now he never came back.
Pete.
So
If I got hit in the ball by a slap shot, I would quit hockey forever,
Yes.
not just the rest of that game.
Did you say ball singular?
Yeah, if it just got one of them, if it ruptured one,
Thanks for the
let
tip.
alone both.
So hopefully,
Yikes.
yeah. So that was tough. But
Hideous.
the goal from Boldy, two beautiful passes from Johansson and Kirill Kaprizov, awesome to see. And Rossi had a beautiful snipe. It was a great night. But tough test on Saturday.
All right, well, I will try for 5
The
white
Wild
ball.
get some people back.
Marty.
The catalyst of the game, according to Tom Reed, which I would agree, of course, was Philip Gustafson, who got the shutout and the victory. So I believe he'll play again on Saturday, and we will hopefully have a great game against the team right behind him in the standings, the Dallas Stars, who they need to keep pace with if they want to do some special things in the playoffs.
The Timberwolves have lost 3 consecutive basketball games. They are at the Sacramento Kings tonight at 9 o'clock after losing games to Miami and 2 to Portland.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not good. I think they're 2.5-point favorites tonight. Hopefully they can get a victory. If not, it's over. Oh, what's on fire?
A-Rod and Lori actually just withdrew. They're like, no, you can have them.
Hey, if you're listening closely, you can hear the Wolves championship hopes.
Yep.
That's my bill of goods.
Oh, you set it on fire?
I did. Yeah.
See, I told you dabbling in arson is kind of nice.
Yeah.
You need help.
So does
I don't
that guy
think I
got his
do.
nut broken.
Just dabbling in arson.
Here's what I dabble
in it. I feel like you got to go all the way if you're
Well, no,
doing
but
it.
if you burn down one house, you're not an arsonist.
Yeah, you are.
Well, like when I was a kid, that story.
No, you're just a guy who set a house on fire. Like if I kill one person, I'm not a serial killer. I just am a murderer.
If you are one person, are you an artist?
Yeah.
Well, remember when I shared the story on air when I dabbled in arson when I was a kid and led the fire to burn down that jerk's hay?
Yeah.
Right.
I dabbled.
Yeah, you dabble.
Just
Would you
dabbled.
consider yourself an arsonist?
No.
No, you dabbled in arson.
And he was an asshole.
Right.
Why can't we have nice things?
Yeah, Pete, you're right.
Pete.
If I go to Perkins and color with crayons on the little kids menu,
Do you
I'm
call
not
yourself a Marine?
I'm not an artist.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Brilliant.
I'm not an artist. I just colored once.
Well
You know what
said.
I'm saying? Yeah, he gets
Yeah,
it.
well
Ron
said.
Swanson gets
Yeah.
it.
That
The
guy's
Vikings
laughing
are
at
at the
you.
Titans Sunday at noon right here on The Fan, your home for Minnesota Vikings football. The Vikings are 7-2. The Titans are the opposite at 2-7.
What's our spread at right now?
6.5.
Yeah, 6-ish. Let me look at the old updated standings here on
Unlimited.
DraftKings.
Thank
Who's got it at 7?
I want to see the split.
No, I think he was.
The corner.
What?
Sully.
Yeah, DraftKings has the Vikings as 6-point favorites. The over-under is 39.5.
It's a low over-under.
That is a low over-under for the NFL.
Yeah.
Anything in the 30s is pretty low.
Yeah. That secondary of the Titans is good, so should be interesting. Just don't turn the ball over, and they should win by 10.
Yeah, let's show us what we got here, guys.
Yeah, correct,
Come on,
Hogs,
man.
Daddy.
Show 'em.
78% of the handles on Minnesota. 79% of the bets.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't control my horny.
Saucy, how do you feel about this? This is something I think you would be the most into. I just want to know what your opinion is. You love College Game Day, right?
I do, yeah.
Did you see CBS this weekend is bringing NFL Today, right? The pregame show?
Yeah.
Going on the road to Buffalo, but not inside the stadium. They're doing it outside, like a
hell
College Game Day feel. It's the first time they're bringing the pregame show on the road like this. And how about this for a weird stat? Now, I know everything has to line up perfectly, but the Chiefs are 9-0. The Bills are 8-2. This is only the 5th time since the NFL merger that 2 teams with 8 or more wins will meet by week 11.
That's sweet.
So this is one of the biggest, week 11 games in NFL history, if you think of it like that. It's only happened 5 times. But what are your thoughts on the NFL today trying to go down the College Game Day route?
I think it's great. I think all the fans will get into it. I just think it's a great move. I think they'll do this more. I think you need these big games, and I think you have to do it like week of, because, if you can't plan this like 3 weeks ahead and all of a sudden one team's on like a 3-game losing streak. But this is the perfect game for that. It's got everything. It's got the Kelseys. It's just perfect. It's got an undefeated team against one of the better teams at 8. What are they, 8-2? 8-1, 8-2, 8-2 in the Bills. Everybody loves the Bills. A lot of people other than Chiefs fans want to see the Chiefs lose. They think that they've gotten really lucky, which they have, but they also have the best quarterback in the world. So I think it's a great idea. I love the idea.
I remember Fox did that for a year or two back when, if you remember when James Brown went to CBS in the NFL Today.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Buck briefly hosted Fox NFL Sunday, and because of that, they had to take it on the road. It'll be interesting, though, with the NFL feel compared to NFL and college. Plus, the fact that the game's not till 4:25 Eastern.
But they're also taking it to one of the best tailgate areas in the world.
Yeah.
You've been to that stadium, right, Hogs?
Which one?
Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I love it.
Sweet, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's like a college stadium. It's like a
it's
college
almost
feel.
always cold.
Yeah.
It's it feels like a big old college place. Yeah.
Good fans, right?
Very, very good fans. And you've seen the Bills fans jump on tables and light
Right.
on
But
fire.
it seems like they're passionate, but not.
Absolutely. No. I mean,
Terrorists,
I was there for the greatest football game of all time,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
Yep.
from Vikings fans' perspective anyway.
That was
excellent.
That was unbelievable. I'll never forget that, man. I mean, when he fumbled that damn ball in the end zone.
Because it
I
went
thought
from
Pete
this
was
thing's
gonna pee
over
himself.
to, oh my God, this is happening.
Yeah.
To, oh no, we're going to lose. To, oh my God, we're going to win.
Yeah, it was great.
Mr. Z will join us in a second. We'll talk about some films. A lot to get to between now and 9 o'clock. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.
Hey, Robes. This football season, Belt Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com, keyword contests, to learn more and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contests.
Your voice has gotten worse in the last 45 minutes.
You're too fired
It's going
up.
the wrong way.
And I'm, it's
Too excited about the Wild.
Yeah.
Really am. It's nice to be excited.
It is. Yep. Again, we've learned today you have a pretty interesting outlook on life, right? I love that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Pat
Tom.
Kessler had no idea that you didn't
Pat
fear
Kessler?
death at all. Love that.
That was cringe.
Let's see if Mr. Z does. Hi, Mr. Z. Good morning.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Nothing. We're just thinking about the weekend
Hey,
and
Steve.
what movies we could watch. We talk to Mr. Z almost every Friday about films and what's coming out in the old box office and what you can go see. We mentioned earlier that Red 1 is not getting not getting well reviewed. 34% on your favorite website, Rotten Tomatoes. PG-13, though, for a Christmas movie. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, and I almost forgot it was PG-13. They do. The only reason it's PG-13 is it's not a lot of language, but how do you say this? The S word, like when "Gal darn it," but you say the S
Santa?
word pops up 2 or 3 times, and that's it, pretty much. And then there's some scariness, I guess, when Krampus is involved. It's kind of creepy in the underworld or whatever. So, but not true PG-13, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Goonies PG-13.
Sure. All right.
Hey,
takes out the little kids, though, right? If you're going to...
Oh, yeah, it's
watch a
fine
Christmas
for...
movie.
you say that because everyone's got different thresholds for that.
Sure.
But, of what they... But I mean, in fact, I'll tell you this about this movie. When I left, my kids are a little older now. I kind of wished I had little kids because they would love this movie. I mean, like, it would have been something we put on the calendar to go to. It would have been that much fun for them. If they were, 8, 10, and 12, it would be fantastic, for this movie.
Hey, Mr. Z, you're in the movie business. There's a lot of promotion, and almost every commercial that isn't the Kelseys is about the movie Wicked. Is that good or bad? Because sometimes, you can see over promotion because they don't think it's going to do well, but they want to get out in front of it. What's the deal with Wicked?
Yeah, that's it. Well, first we'll address the promotion, because actually I was asked this recently. At the beginning, if you see a movie where they're spending a ton of money, like at the Super Bowl, like Wicked did, and then the closer and closer it gets, they start pulling back, that's them putting on the brakes, saying, we got to start getting a little more wise with our money. When a studio like Universal's throwing this money at Wicked, in this situation, they know what they have. As far as ticket pre-sales and as far as their audience screenings, about who their audience is. And I mean, people are waiting for this movie. Like, a lot of people have bought tickets already for whatever and waiting to bring their families to this movie.
Wow.
And
it's gonna be big.
The movie opens the same day as Gladiator 2, so I know a lot of people have tried to compare it to Barbie and Oppenheimer, that they're trying to get some Gladiator Wicked thing going. Is that even remotely possible that these two are that big?
Yes, on Wicked. Well, it's a tiny bit different, I think, because Gladiator is... I have to be careful what I say, but Gladiator's audience is aimed almost at, it's not true, because when we say adult males, I mean, obviously there's a lot of women that are going to go to it, but it's really an audience, a movie aimed directly at adult males who, one, don't pre-buy tickets, who, go when they're ready to go. And then the other one is aimed at groups and families that are going together to watch this event film. And so it's not quite the same. The other thing that happened with Barbenheimer, we hadn't had a movie in about a year, leading up into that. The lockdown kind of kept us up. So all of a sudden there were 2 movies that everyone in the world wanted to see. And so it became like a thing because it had been so long since that happened.
Wicked-ator.
That's not bad.
What are they calling it? Glickit, I think they're calling it.
Whoa.
Glickit.
I can see that.
Whoa.
Uncle Glickit.
Yeah.
Real quick, to finish up Red 1, I'll say, because sometimes there's really simple movies, really simple reviews. All you got to do, if you watch the trailer and you go, that looks awful, and you're not bringing your kids to it, you're not going to probably like it. I sat through the whole movie, and my critic brain was picking off, that was dumb, that was terrible, that was predictable. But for some reason, I kept thinking, why am I enjoying this film? If that makes any sense. At the end of the movie, I felt like a little kid watching a creature feature film on Channel 11. And I'm not saying it was a good movie. I'm saying I enjoyed it. And if I could bring my kids to it when they were younger, I would have 100% brought them to it, and they would have loved it.
Nice.
Have you seen Wicked or Gladiator? And I know they both come out next week, but when are you allowed to talk about what you've seen out of those two?
Yes, and when I'm really looking forward to talking about Wicked, because there's a lot to be said. To be fair to the people who get paid to do reviews, we have to wait. So as soon as you go to your favorite movie review site and the majority of reviews are out, then I can talk about it.
Got it. Yep, so far none on Wicked. So, yep, I got
you
it.
can see some early reviews, and the early reviews are a little different because we've talked about this before. A person who, whenever you get invited to an early screening, the excitement levels are really high, and it can so early reviews are always positive, but the early reviews are very positive. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's when Mark Rosen famously got to see Wolfman before everybody else, and he goes, "Oh, go see it." And it was terrible. Terrible, but I was dating my now wife, then girlfriend at the time, and we're like, let's go find something to do. And I'm like, well, Rosie says Wolfman's good. Like, like a D-, just terrible.
That could have ended the marriage before it began. Look at that.
Maybe Rosie was trying to sabatage it. She was 24 at the time. That is in the row zone.
That's at the top end of the row zone.
I mean, she was running out of time, but she was still in the row zone. Thanks, Mr. Z. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Talk to you next week.
Next week. Yeah, next week, Gladiator 2 and Wicked.
What do you think The Wolfman is on Rotten Tomatoes?
100%.
Is it higher or lower than Red 1?
Higher.
Probably higher.
Red 1 is what, 34?
Yeah.
Then it's going to be lower.
Really?
32.
Oh, my God.
It's that bad?
It was terrible.
I've never seen it.
I loved it.
Yeah, Hawk did love it. He said the transformation scene was outstanding.
Go see it.
Yeah. Go see it. Go see it.
Go see it. Do you guys care about Gladiator 2? 24 years later? 23 years later?
I'm waiting for a damn movie that I want to see to be in the theater.
Did you go see the Kieran Culkin one, Hawk? Is it The Real Plan or
Pain?
Real Pain. Have you seen that, Hawk? That looks like something that's up your alley.
No.
It's Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin.
Oh, yeah, that's brand new. I think that just comes out now. I don't think it was out until now.
And I think Eisenberg directed it, did he not? Or wrote it or something?
I think both. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's called The Real Pain?
Yeah, A Real Pain.
Oh. It's about when you get kicked in the nuts?
Yep. That's
or a slap shot from Brock Faber straight to the nuts.
I've been thinking about going to see Conclave. From what I hear, that's real good.
Yeah, 90-something%.
It's got Ralph Fiennes and Ray Fiennes both in it.
both of them.
Yeah, brilliant.
So, I don't know.
I'm sure that'll be a real uplifting movie, right? That'll
looks
be
pretty interesting. It's got
does.
It's got John Lithgow in it too, man. He's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a knucklehead.
Have you seen Heretic yet?
I have not. I thought about going to see it the other night, but I didn't feel like seeing a creepy movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hugh Grant being creepy as hell.
I think you might like it.
92%?
Yeah. I think you might like it.
Have you seen the best Christmas pageant ever?
3 times.
Wow.
Yep.
How?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
Everything she touches.
Oh, my God.
That sounds so creepy, too.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
All right. Yesterday, I texted Mark Parrish and said, don't forget to set your alarm. He texted back and said, thanks. So I believe Mark Parrish will join for the Charch Challenge when we come back.
Hell yeah.
Mark, it's a sewer.
It's tight, man.
God.
It's tight at the bottom of the Fantasy Charch Challenge. We'll run through that after this. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
Everybody likes a tight bottom.
The Fan.
Join the KFAN Power Trip Morning Show live on Black Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. at the Huntington Bank Rotunda at Mall of America. We'll be playing the Initials game live for multiple grand prizes, including a trip and ticket bundle to see your favorite teams on the road. Plus, the ultimate Minnesota Sports Day on Black Friday. Get the full details on KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Yeah, we got a couple of weeks to break that down, but 2 pretty monster prizes on Black Friday, Mall of America, Power Trip Morning Show, 7 to 9.
Hell yeah, man.
Crazy.
It's going to be sweet.
Hi, Charch.
Good morning. Hey.
Hi, Charch.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Bet you got no echo today, do you?
No echo today.
Do you
Thank
miss the
That's
echo?
so great.
It's only taken me 23 years.
You
No,
sound
because
great.
It's just more of me.
Oops.
There's a lot of me already.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's the appropriate amount of you, though. You know? I think
Very
at least.
little.
Yeah. Charch, where is the Friday football feast today?
Crystal, Minnesota.
Oh, sweet.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal.
I like
B-dubs.
Crystal.
Yeah, me too.
More centrally located than
Right across
many
from the
of the
old sex
Buffalo
shop.
Wild Wings that we go to.
Fuck.
Sure. Give me the list of regulars, right? Isn't Chad Greenway there every week? Is that accurate?
Well, almost.
Most weeks.
You know, he periodically has things that draw him out of town, typically around his daughter's athletics, but mostly Chad is there. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Alec Lewis.
Alec Lewis every week.
Yep. Who else? Anybody else we're
Paul
forgetting?
Allen.
Paul Allen is there, yes.
Paul Allen is there. Jared.
Jared Wells.
You can come
Jared
see
Wells.
Jared.
Lexington Steel.
Nick Madden.
Whoa, Lexington.
Nick Madden and the street team.
Yeah, that'll draw.
That's his
Steve
rap group.
Lombardozzi.
Johnny Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, Steve Lombardozzi shows
Yeah,
up. That's
sometimes,
fantastic.
yeah.
man.
Johnny
That'd be
Sins.
fun. We would take Steve.
That is pretty cool.
We'd take that.
Harry Carey.
That would be fun.
What? He's dead.
Yeah, but he's with us.
It's so good. Hey, Charch, you know what sucks? Waking up on a Tuesday morning and getting an email that your team is no longer in a guillotine league.
Yeah.
You were flirting with death a couple weeks ago, though, when that Chris Godwin catch at the end where he where he dislocated his ankle. I lost to Paul in that, and I got chopped.
Oh, from that?
From that exact,
that
exact one, which is going to be a great story forever. But
that's a bad way to go.
It was, and then I love Chris Godwin, who doesn't, and then it was just like the double whammy because I have him in other leagues. I was like, oh, this was a great night.
Yeah.
Best way to play.
GuillotineLeagues.com.
Super fun.
All right, Charch. So look, here's the deal. Yesterday, Parrish said he was going to set his alarm, but it is 6:40 and he's yet to call in.
What's 7:40 there?
I did. By the way, I did text him 6:40 Central.
Really?
I shouldn't have to.
No,
really.
I think he would figure that out. That I mean 6:40 this time. He knows what time it is, and he texted me back, gracias, and he is nowhere to be found.
He'll call.
What does gracias mean?
Hey Siri, text Mark Parrish. You up?
It's like, again?
You could just have him go last, right?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's
we
red
also
hot anyway.
by the time you
But
get
that's
through all the
Chris's spot.
options.
Wait, he
Yeah,
texted
thank
me. He texted me. Hold on. One of us.
It says,
While you're looking at that,
He should be calling.
all right, while you're looking at that, I'll go through this. Through 10 weeks, we have 5 weeks to go. Here's the old standings in the Fantasy Charch Challenge. I have 183 points. Parrish has 145 points. Sauce, you're at 127. There's Parrish.
Hell yeah.
Zacho, you have 112. And Charch, maybe you saw this. For the first time in the history of Zach playing the Fantasy Charch Challenge, he has finished a week not being in position to be the loser. So that means he's either not trailing the Ghost, or in this case, right, he's technically ahead of the Ghost and ahead of Kriesel. Wow. So this is the first time he has ever got to have an entire week where he doesn't have to sweat. Now, he's only 2 points ahead of Chris, so he's far from safe. Yeah. And he's only 3 ahead of Kries, and one person has to lose. Even if everybody beats Chris, somebody still loses. So Zach has 112. Hawk has 110. Kriesel, you're 1 behind the Ghost at
currently
109.
last.
You are currently last. So if it ended,
my first marriage.
So if it ended right now, we would have 1 loser, and it would be Kriesel.
All right. Well,
but it's tightened up because Chris has run ice cold, picking 5th or 6th for like the last month straight. Parrish is on the line, so we're good to go. Charch, give us the 6 options for week 11.
They are our theme today is ball hogs. You're going to be getting 6 of the top 8 running backs by touches.
Number 1.
The first player is Kyren Williams. This is Rams running back Kyren Williams at New England. He has the second most carries. He's scored in the first 6 games, but has gone 2 weeks without a touchdown while rushing for only 69 and 62 yards. New England is a middle of the pack run defense, ranking 16th in run defense success rate.
Number 2.
Tennessee running back Derrick Henry, formerly of Tennessee, Baltimore running back Derrick Henry at Pittsburgh. Henry leads all backs in carries, rushing yards, and yards per carry. Steelers are a good defense, ranking 5th best in rushing yards allowed, 4th best in yards per rush allowed at just 3.8 yards.
Interesting. Okay.
Number 8.
Snotted everywhere.
Joe Mixon plays for Houston. He is going to travel to Dallas. Mixon has scored in every game he's played. Dallas has allowed the 9th most rushing yards and the 3rd most touchdowns.
Okay.
Next, Green Bay Packers running back Josh Jacobs is at Chicago. Volume backs fare well against Chicago. Backs with 16 or more carries average 101 total yards and 2/3 of a touchdown. Jacobs averages 18 carries, and backup Emmanuel Wilson isn't much of a threat with only 4 carries in the last 3 games. Next up, New Orleans running back Alvin Kamara hosting Cleveland. Kamara leads the league in running back targets and receptions. Over the past 5 games, Cleveland has allowed 6 rushing touchdowns.
Who do they play, Charch? Sorry.
That's hosting Cleveland.
Thank you.
And let's see, last, Kansas City running back Kareem Hunt at Buffalo. Since becoming Kansas City's starting running back, Hunt leads the NFL with 22 rushes per game. Against Buffalo, runners who have at least 18 carries average 130 yards and almost a full touchdown per game.
Number 4.
All right, so Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, and Kareem Hunt are the 6 options with 5 weeks to go. Zacho is spinning the wheel.
I've seen there's some points up for grabs, man. That's good.
Kriesel goes first. He's absolutely dead last. Kriesel, you need this more than anyone. The first pick is
Joe Mixon.
That's who I wanted as well. That was my number one. Dallas's defense.
That's my
is just
number
garbage.
1 as well.
Shoot.
All right, so we were all on the same page there. Joe Mixon goes 1 to Kriesel. Pick number 2 is going to be Sauce.
Ooh.
Shoot.
Kiss me.
I'll take King Henry.
Derrick Henry.
That is my number 3 choice this week.
Yep. Monster numbers, but a good defense. That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, pick number 3. Let's see if Chris continues to run cold. He does. It looks like it's going to be Zachary. Zach.
Kamara.
Alvin Kamara.
It's my number 2 choice. So you guys have got my top 3 off the board.
All right, down to Parrish, myself, and Chris. There goes the wheel. That's going to be me.
Unbelievable.
Man.
This is getting to be ridiculous.
Let's go. They're terrible. Let's go Josh Jacobs 4th.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
My number 5 option, Josh Jacobs.
Down to Hawk and Parrish. And it's going to be Chris. Hockey.
Wow,
Chris.
awesome. I'll go Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt is my last choice here.
Okay, so Parrish gets Kyron Williams. Let's pull up Mark Parrish. Parrish, you could have slept in, man.
Thanks for waking up, buddy.
Yeah. I'm really, really happy I set an alarm. I'm going to be a little bit bitter for about 30 seconds and fall back to sleep.
Yeah. All right, you get Kyron Williams. Congratulations.
He plays for the Rams.
Love you, Mark.
Guys. Love you guys. See you guys next week.
Bye. Just woke up for 18 seconds on the air.
I've done that.
Yeah,
I think the Vegas one, yeah.
I think I did that in Norway. I think I was the 6th pick, and I waited on hold for like 10 minutes. I'm like, what am I doing?
But it was tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Charch, what else could we talk about? How about Titans and Vikings? I don't want to have you blow all your 9 to noon takes, but is this a trap game, or do you think this is a game that the Vikings should just throttle here? What are we doing on Sunday?
Trap game, nervous. If Will Levis doesn't throw the game away, which he's perfectly capable of doing, then this is a really hard matchup against a shockingly good defense. This is the team that allows the fewest yards per game and the fewest passing yards per game and the second fewest yards per play. It's a legitimately really, really good defense. And after we just saw the Vikings struggle with the Jaguars, I'm not feeling great that the Vikings are going to overcome a much tougher defense this week. So then I think it just turns into who makes the most mistakes. And again, a little rattled by the play of Sam Darnold. Since the first month, he's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. And So yeah, if I think if you're just going to wait around and hope that Will Levis gives away the game, which again there's a decent chance he will, that does not sound like a recipe for an automatic win for me.
Yep.
Isn't it weird? Like we all sort of feel like we're 2-7 instead of 7-2.
Right. Well, it's because Sam Darnold treats opposing defenses like it's a Salvation Army kettle. Just the most generous freaking guy.
That's very good.
3 turnovers at Jacksonville, and now they're going here. This is why I'm...
Hey, Charch, if the season ended today, and it doesn't, but if the season ended today, and this was the sample size, how do you think the free agent market would react to Sam Darnold?
He'd be a starting quarterback for somebody, but he wouldn't be the quarterback any team is going into the season going, rubbing their hands. God, we've solved our quarterback problem.
What kind of money?
Got Sam Darnold.
How many years do you think, and how much money a year do you think he just secured himself?
He's looking at something in the neighborhood of 3 years. And, if you're a starting quarterback, you're automatically above 20 million. I think he'd be 3 years, $25, $30 million.
And Charch, you probably haven't dove into this like you normally do later on in the year, but it's not a very good quarterback draft. So a team like Tennessee would probably, as a bridge guy, even if they don't get somebody in the draft, that Tennessee is a team that would probably take him.
Yeah, that Tennessee is a team that could potentially take him. Wouldn't that be funny? Maybe he might be auditioning for his next employer.
Correct.
That is possible. Jaguars are apparently off the list. I don't think they're going to make a move on him. So yeah, I mean, from where we were after the first month when he was legitimately in the very early MVP conversation because Darnold played so well that first month. Where we are now is I think just a second tier fallback emergency quarter starter for somebody whose draft doesn't fall their way or whatever free agency doesn't fall their way. Yeah,
I was listening to the Dan Barreiro program last night for a little bit, and if I caught him in context, I believe he said that he has Aaron Jones as his first 9-game MVP for the Minnesota Vikings. Agree or disagree? Who do you have as this team's MVP through 9?
Huh.
His logic, and again, I'm trying not to put words in his mouth because he's going to say it more eloquently than I did, but it was basically just that not that he's a good runner, but that he's given us other options in the passing game because he is dynamic as a runner and as a pass catcher.
The defense has to account for him, like with Madison, yeah.
So he was saying that it opens up KOC to try new things as opposed to past running backs that we've had.
Has he, I just don't feel like he's been explosive and a gigantic difference maker. I think Jonathan Grenard or Blake Cashman or Andrew Van Ginkel would be, to me, all more impactful, but probably Grenard right now because the team's got a legitimate pass rush that we did not have last year, and it's made a huge difference on the entire defense.
Yeah, hard not to agree with that because it's hard to give it to Darnold. Jefferson's had a good year, but not a Jefferson year. Right?
Yeah.
Still second in the league in yards, I think, right? Which is insane.
Back to what Chris just said about being 7-2 and feeling like we're not doing that well. It's like Jefferson's having a really good year, but it's just not the numbers that just jump off the page. Like, how is that even possible?
Right. And it's aggravating because they're forcing when the interceptions happen, they're normally trying to force the ball to him.
Right. Going to Justin.
Correct.
Well, weren't all 3 of them last week?
Yeah, and then one the week before.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you're right, Charge. I think it's got to be somebody on the defensive side, and maybe you just say Grenard's the catalyst. Grenard's the one that was a week ago leading the NFL in pressure, so whatever he's doing probably bleeds down to the other players and gives them a better chance to succeed as well. Hard not to maybe lean Grenard.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the case. 48 quarterback pressures so far. Really impressive.
But also, too, it's even though Jones has not been extraordinary, the upgrade over Madison is substantial. And so from that, in baseball, what wins over replacement, I think that might make it because Grenard was over Danielle Hunter. I think the others really have made the difference, whereas Grenard has been kind of a better replacement than Hunter. But
a couple of weeks ago, you could have maybe made a dark horse argument for Will Reichard.
Yeah.
Sneakily, you could have said, well, geez, he hasn't missed yet. I mean, he's made sure we are in every game that's close.
Yeah. And now my leg's healthier.
How about last night? I know the game ended up kind of being a runaway, but for a second there, Jake Elliott of the Eagles was kicking them out of the game. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point, and you're going, they're going to lose this game to Washington because Jake Elliott can't make a field goal. And then Saquon scored twice, and all those misses didn't matter. But still, Will Reichert going, whatever it was, 34 for his first 34, if you count field goals and extra points. It was something like that, something in the 30s. Man, that was an unbelievable run. So definitely need him back. But John Parker Romo was 4 for 4 last week.
It sounded weird off his, like when he kicked it, it looked different. It sounded different. Just because we were spoiled, because Reichert was just pounding it.
He's great.
Have we heard anything?
He's on IR, so he's going to be 4 games. But let's hope it's just 4.
Okay. But there's not talk of it.
Not sure. It's a good
Amputation.
question.
Yeah. I don't recommend it.
No.
Been there. Done that.
All right, Charch. Buffalo Wild Wings Kriesel, 9 to noon.
Looking forward to it. I imagine people are lining up. People are in line now.
Get in line.
Let's
That's
go.
sweet.
Love them.
Get out there. All right, Charch.
Cheers,
Paul.
buddy.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Paul Charchian, GuillotineLeagues.com.
I agree with him. This game is weird. It feels weird. Hopefully they can just right the ship. It'd be nice to just have a solid game, pound them like we should, and let's look on to Chicago.
Let's hope Will Levis does a Sam Darnold impression and Sam Darnold doesn't do a Will Levis impression.
Right.
How about them Vikings?
Exactly. That guy gets it.
Yeah, that guy does get it.
Yeah, Satan himself says, how about them Vikings?
Not the Vikings.
Loves them.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
We'll do the news in a second when we get back. Chris will walk us through that. Marnie should be here in like 20 minutes or so.
Major announcement.
And we do have a major announcement. That is true.
We have a major announcement.
Come back.
Am I involved in it?
Yes, it's months from now, but we want people to get it on the calendar.
Do I get to participate?
Yes.
Am I going to be there?
Yes, we're all there. Yes, this
What
is.
if I don't want to be?
You already agreed to it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And then Chris Hardwick, who's at Acme all week, should be here in about 40 minutes or so. From The Wall, from Singled Out, from Talking Dead. You know him from a million things. He's playing initials and hanging out like 7:30-ish through 9. But the news is next on The Fan.